It's a rematch from last year's Wimbledon semis. World number 1 and defending champion Serena Williams, now at the age of 27, more focused than ever on excellence. Taking on a dangerous opponent, Zheng Jie, the first Chinese player to ever reach a Grand Slam singles semifinal. And welcome to Miami as Tennis Channel presents the Sony Ericsson Open. Got some great tennis coming your way this afternoon and this evening. Serena Williams, ranked number 1, seeded number 1, against Zheng Jie of China. Meeting for the 4th time overall. Have played twice in Wimbledon. One very, very memorable meeting last year. I'm Paul Sunderland, joined by Karina Marario. And Serena Williams, resplendent in her bright orange, taking on a player who has made a great comeback in Zheng Jie, still wearing that brace on her left ankle, missed a lot of time. And the very familiar face and voice of Kater Nooney will be in the chair. And a full bracket. Let's take a look at the top half of the bracket. And there have been a number of upsets already, Karina. So not so many here, except, of course, Makarova taking down Nadia Petrova. But that has been the story so far.
Vera Zvonareva, who won last week in Indian Wells, losing to Na Li in 3 tight sets. So a couple upsets here on this top half of the draw.
And that is just in this section. Overall, a number of the seeds already gone. Another perfect day here in South Florida. In the spring, the players out on court warming up. And now let's take a look at the distinguished biography of Serena Williams. And I'm not sure distinguished does it justice. I got to think of something else.
No, better adjective. I mean, she's just had such a phenomenal career, and see her ranking at number 1 where she believes, and I think most of us on the outside believe her ranking should be.
Winner of 10 Grand Slam titles, including already this year's Australian Open when she dispatched Dinara Safina in straight sets, 6-love, 6-3. And we covered a couple of her matches leading into the Australian Open, and we're not so sure if she was ready. At least speaking for myself, not absolutely convinced she was ready. She was ready.
Well, that's the phenomenal thing about Serena Williams, is that she can win when she's not playing her best tennis. She's so tough mentally, and that is really, I think, along with being a great tennis player and a great athlete, really her best asset.
Has a magnificent record here in Miami, has won this title on 5 previous occasions. You saw her record at 49-5, so obviously going for her 50th victory all-time here in Miami. And her opponent, Zheng Jie, and a career-high ranking of number 17 right now for the woman from Chengdu, China.
Zheng Jie, probably best known for her semifinal appearance at Wimbledon last year. She made that semifinal as a wild card entry. And she's really capitalized on that result and kept the momentum moving forward at her career high ranking right now of number 17. She's had a good start to the year so far. Already made the 4th round of the first Grand Slam of the year, the semifinals of the clay court tournament in Monterrey, Mexico. Zheng Jie is a very tough opponent. She's very feisty, likes to stand on top of the baseline, takes the ball early. So Serena's going to really need to be on her game. But psychologically for Serena, I think to go to a place where you know you've performed well in the past, even if you're a little rusty coming in or you're not playing your best tennis, it really gives you such a boost in your confidence to go somewhere where you're comfortable with the conditions.
There you see the head-to-head, the most notable meeting, of course, the last one at Wimbledon. But there was one post that, and Serena has been inactive, if you will, for quite some time, having dropped out of the indoor in Paris. So she hasn't played competitive tennis since the middle of February.
No, but they've already played once this year, and Serena winning that match comfortably. As we take a look at Kader Nooney.
And you will hear him soon. So Serena comes to this tournament again feeling very, very comfortable, lives now in Florida, so not too far from home, and coming into this tournament again looking for her 50th victory here at the Sony Ericsson Open.
Well, and she lives in Palm Beach Gardens, about an hour and a half north of Miami. So we take a look at her father, Richard Williams. So she's very familiar with these conditions, the humidity, the wind. That's a huge factor at this tournament here in Key Biscayne. It's a little island off the coast of Miami, so the conditions here can get very windy.
And it's a family affair, given it being so close to home. Oracene on hand as well, works very, very extensively right now with Serena.
Serena's got a young fan in the crowd.
I think she's got fans in all shapes and sizes and ages, and why not? Be sure and stay with us. We'll be right back with more. Zheng Jie, eager to reach up the mountain. Serena Williams, already an all-time great, but hungry for more. Back to Crandon Park, Key Biscayne, Florida. Specifically, Serena Williams to serve, taking on Zheng Jie, currently ranked number 17 in the world. Round of 16 at the Sony Ericsson Open, and we're underway.
Locked in.
And that's where Serena has such a huge advantage with her serve. She can really produce aces from both sides of the service line.
Have you seen any rust at all from Serena so far in this tournament? Again, pointing out that she had not played since Paris, third week in February.
I think it always takes a little time to work your way into a tournament, but I think, again, being so confident here in Miami under these conditions and having done so well in the past, I think really contributes to her success so far this week. And I like when Serena is always looking to move forward. She's an aggressive player. She always wants to be inside the baseline, looking to take advantage of every opportunity. She's not as comfortable at the net, but I think the more she does it, the more comfortable she'll be. And that backhand volley sometimes gets away from her. She has a tendency to completely drop her wrist. We saw in that last one. But I also think that that's where her doubles comes into play. When she plays a lot of doubles with her sister Venus, they won the Australian Open earlier this year. I think that really helps her get familiar with all parts of the court and become more comfortable at the net.
Big serve out wide once again, getting Williams out of some difficulty. After a bye in the first round, defeated Alexa Glatch and then Peng Shuai of China, all in straight sets. Excellent high kicking second serve.
Yeah, Williams. Close game.
And now, Karina, let's get to your keys for the match.
Well, the serve, I already alluded to that. That's going to be a key factor for Serena. I mean, we know that if she plays her game, she's going to win this match and executes the way she wants to. Controlled aggression, that's always a key for her to manage her unforced errors, and she leads the head-to-head 3-love, so that's going to give her a tremendous amount of confidence. For Zheng, she's going to have to return very well. Get the ball deep. Make sure she pushes Serena behind the baseline, and Zheng's going to need to use that tenacity. She's very feisty and she's a good competitor, gets a lot of balls back, and she's going to need to draw on that today.
Zheng Jie to serve.
Mentioned that Zheng Jie, her best result so far at the Australian was this year when she reached the 4th round, but did have to retire against Svetlana Kuznetsova with a wrist injury, and you can see that she's still playing not only with a brace on her left ankle, which she hurt in 2008 at Roland Garros, but also a brace on her left wrist, which she hurt down in Melbourne.
Well, she fell during that match against Kuznetsova. She was down 4-1 in the first set and fell on that left wrist. Was forced to retire. That's a huge difference between these two players, that second serve. You see Zheng's second serve landing halfway up the box, giving Serena plenty of opportunity to step inside the baseline and be aggressive. Whereas that second serve on game point that we saw from Serena, that high kicker that bounces up, you can't be aggressive off that second serve, and that's a huge advantage for Serena.
She at only 5'4.5", so has difficulty generating pace off of her own serve as well as dealing with a high kicker. And already in serious trouble in her first service game.
Zheng's not a tall player. She's 5'6", so that kick serve really does get up high on her.
Three break points.
15-14.
I gave her a couple extra inches. It's 5'4".
Well, you've always been the more between you and I. We know who the more generous person is, so I'm not surprised. There is a crushing forehand cross court and an easy break for the 2-games-to-love lead for Serena Williams.
And this is where Serena feels comfortable, when she can step inside the baseline. You saw her cut off that angle on the serve. She doesn't move parallel to the baseline, but rather moves towards the net. And it gives her the opportunity to take an aggressive stance in the court.
Second serve.
And that's the kick again. That ball didn't bounce that deep in the box, but you can see how much action she gets on that second serve. Really hits up the back of the ball. That allows her to get plenty of clearance over the net, and the ball bounces and really shoots off the court.
So maybe with that, the success that Zheng Jie had on Wimbledon is because that second serve doesn't bounce nearly as high.
Exactly.
Good effort by Serena Williams, but not quite able to get to that net court.
Zheng Jie's going to need a little of that, a little luck, maybe a lot of luck to win this match today. You're absolutely right, Paul, about the court surface. Zheng Jie does like a little bit of pace. She's more of a counter puncher, has trouble generating her own pace. So the courts at Wimbledon suit her style of play because the ball comes quick off the court and it stays low. And she's low to the ground to begin with, so she doesn't have to get down and bend for those low balls on the grass courts.
Serena just overpowering right now with both her first and second serve. In that matchup at Wimbledon last year, Serena came out on top 6-2, 7-6, and that was when Zheng Jie came in as a qualifier because of the ankle injury that she had suffered previously, her ranking falling down to 133rd. Boy, that's nice hitting as well. And so far, to start this round of 16 match here in Florida at the Sony Ericsson Open, it is all Serena Williams. Nothing common about the crowd here in Miami. Mentioned that it was a family affair and close to Serena's home, but getting lots of support here, Karina.
Yeah, it's like a shot from the pages of Us Weekly. Yes, I read it on a regular basis. Common dating Serena Williams.
Serena out emphatically so far, just dictating whether serving or receiving.
And Zheng's going to need to start getting a lot more first serves in. If she wants to get on the board here, she can't let Serena take advantage of that second serve. It's just way too easy for her right now.
Almost get the sense that this first set is already gone. I mean, Serena was a huge favorite. Let's make no mistake about that, particularly in this matchup, on this surface, in this environment where Serena has been so incredibly successful. But Zheng Jie has gotten off to a very, very slow start because Serena has been so overpowering.
I mean, that's just way too easy. Serena's positioning herself halfway between the baseline and the service line to return that second serve. And once she's got that position in the court, she does not give it up easily. And that's the pressure that Serena puts on you. You're forced to come up with a better shot in this particular instance because Zheng's suffering so much with her second serve. She's trying to put a little more pace on that serve to prevent Serena from being as aggressive as she has been.
That ball sails just long. Serena up on her tiptoes to take a look, and so one break point is wiped away by Zheng Jie.
Well, the good news for Zheng was that she got a first serve in that rally, so. That's the depth that I was referring to. You see Serena a few feet behind the baseline. That's where you want to pin her if you can. It's much easier said than done.
Still break point. Turn just too good from Serena and seems equally dangerous, both the forehand and backhand return.
Well, her forehand typically is her weaker side, but when she's confident and playing well, there's not that much of a difference. If one side does break down, it's going to be her forehand. Her backhand is solid technically, so it's less likely to break down. And she's more confident off her backhand side. But when the serve's coming in at 60 miles an hour, it doesn't really matter what side it goes to.
Zheng Jie trying anything, that time coming in behind that second serve
15.
return,
And
still got past.
I don't mind the play. Zheng does like to take the ball early off the return especially. She didn't do enough with the approach, but at least she's trying to do something different, put a little pressure on Serena. Good tennis.
Although Zheng Jie obviously well down in this opening set, seems like she's starting to find just a little bit of rhythm.
And she will. I expect that to happen. I mean, especially for a lower ranked player, even though Zheng's 17 in the world right now. I mean, she's been playing on the outside courts. She's been playing opponents that aren't #1 in the world. So it's just a completely different atmosphere. Even your perception on a center court that's as big as this one is affected. So it takes sometimes a few games to adjust to the conditions. Not to mention the fact that you're playing the #1 player in the world.
Who's played on this court an awful lot
Exactly.
because of her stature in the game.
And just expanding on that point, I think that's something that's overlooked a lot of times, that people don't realize that the top players play on these big courts all the time. Pretty much every match Serena plays is going to be on this center court. She gets to practice on this court. The higher ranked players always have preference as far as playing on the show courts. So for a lower ranked player to come into this big stadium, and it's a completely different kind of atmosphere, and it does take a little while to adjust to that. Serena can get herself out of trouble so often with that serve. I mean, look where this second serve lands. Above Zheng's head. Really opens up the court for herself. She did a great job of getting behind the ball on that backhand.
And as good a mover Zheng Jie as Zheng Jie is, was barely in the picture in that replay. Beautiful play by Williams.
And what was great about that play is that Serena closed into the net immediately. They see her father Richard looking on.
That's pretty good moving by both players.
And that's what makes Serena so tough, is that she's so great when she's on the offense, but she moves so incredibly well that she can also play good defense. And so when she's on, it's so tough to find any weaknesses.
If Serena is playing at her absolute best and in top shape, who can challenge her then?
No one. Right now? No one. Her sister would have the best chance.
That second service.
Ball very, very close to the sideline.
Looks like one tennis.
Zheng Jie will utilize the challenge.
The ball was blocked. Yeah, I think it's clearly a bit.
Not sure, there's 2 marks and can be clearly like it can be very.
Ball well wide, so Serena Williams challenged on her serve for the first time here in the opening set, but still holds and leads Zheng Jie 5-0. The Sony Ericsson Tour heads to Marbella, Spain for the inaugural Andalusia Tennis Experience. Serena Williams and Jelena Jankovic headline the field. Live coverage begins Saturday, April 11th at 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 Pacific, only on Tennis Channel, the home of the slams. Paul Sunderland along with Karina Murariu. It's the Sony Ericsson Open coming to you from Miami, and it has been all Serena Williams, ranked number 1 in the world, taking on China's Zheng Jie, currently at number 17. And Serena Williams has basically been serving Zheng Jie right off the court.
Serving and returning her off the court. Nothing Zheng Jie has been able to throw at Serena has stuck so far. But she's definitely going to need to do a better job of getting first serves in play, because at least she can start the point in a neutral position as opposed to a defensive position. Her serve's not big enough to enable her to start offensively, but the best she can hope for is start neutral.
She did seem to find a little bit of rhythm in the last couple of games, at least off the ground.
Well, she had a close game on Serena's serve, so we have to just take what we can get right now and build on that.
15 love.
Well, start at that point offensively with the first serve, and for Zheng Jie, the important thing for her is going to be placement on the serve. She's not going to serve people off the court, but if she can place the serve effectively, she's going to be in good shape.
Well, that was a very good deep serve right off the line.
That's what she's going to need to do. Serve on the lines.
Well, but as you pointed out, this has been her style of play her entire career. Been out on the pro circuit, the WTA Sony Ericsson Tour for a long, long time, and has never been a big server. There's no question about that.
Net second service.
And that's actually a really great play. I always felt against Venus and Serena to hit the ball up the middle of the court was such an effective play. First, you take away the angle. Second, they have great foot speed, but they don't have great footwork. When you hit the ball up the middle, they are forced to take those small adjustment steps, which they don't do as well.
Couple of balls cross court right on the sideline, and that carries over the baseline, and Zheng Jie of China is finally on the scoreboard.
And she just sighed. A huge relief for Zheng Jie to get on the board here in this first set.
Quick shot of her coach and husband, Shang Yu.
And we really haven't seen the kind of tennis that Zheng Jie is able to produce. I mean, I've seen her play a number of times. I've played against her in doubles, and she's a very accomplished player. Serena has not allowed her to show what she's capable of. So we have to credit Serena for the way she's played this match so far. That's a better return.
15-0.
That's what Zheng Jie's going to need to do. Move forward a little bit on that second serve and catch it before that serve bounces over her head. When someone has that good kick serve, you have two options. You either move forward inside the court or you take a step back. You want to do whatever you can to catch that ball in your strike zone.
Another excellent return, and the response from Serena Williams carries long, and now it is 15-30.
And I mentioned I played Zheng Jie in doubles a few times, and what she does so well, she has the ability to take that serve early. A lot of times I'd be serving and volleying, and I'd serve, and before I even looked up, the return would be back at my feet. It's a little easier to do on my serve as opposed to Serena's, though. That's the difference.
We're splitting hairs.
Yeah, we're splitting about 30 miles an hour.
30 all. And for the first time in this opening set against Serena Williams, back-to-back service games in some jeopardy. She trailed 15-30 but eventually won that game. Now she's facing her first break point. A little change of pace, a little moon ball from Zheng Jie and Serena Williams. Thank you very much. And Zheng Jie with a break, and now it is 5-2 here in Miami. Had a sense a couple of games ago that the 17th ranked player in the world from China, Zheng Jie, was starting to find a rhythm in spite of the fact that she trailed 5 games to love. But here she comes through with a hold and then a break of serve, and it's 5-2. Facing the #1 player in the world, Serena Williams.
And I mentioned the tenacity of Zheng Jie. I mean, that's something that she's going to need to use today. And it didn't matter that she was down 5 love. She continues to fight. She continues to try different things, which I like. We saw on that last break point, she hit that high, heavy topspin ball, really throwing Serena off her rhythm. That's a great play. Again, taking the ball early. As soon as she saw Serena on the defense, she moved a couple steps, stood right on the baseline. And she has those compact swings, so she has the ability to take the ball early and really block it into the open court.
Third 15.
Fortunate net board that time.
I was just going to say, I got a little lucky.
14.
So second
15.
serve again, just sitting there waiting to be hit.
Mentioned Jie, a very accomplished doubles player, but could not fight off that volley into her midsection.
I was just going to say, Zheng Jie is a very effective doubles player. She moves around at the net and she returns very well, but she's not necessarily comfortable when the ball's coming hard right at her. And Serena, that's one thing she's not afraid of. She's not afraid to hit the balls hard at her opponents.
It's a smart play. Maybe not a popular play, but a smart play.
Exactly.
Serena misses that easy forehand return, a couple of feet long, and just like that, it is 5-3.
And I mentioned earlier that when Serena was up 5-love, we had to credit her because she wasn't allowing Zheng Jie to really get into this match, and now she's committed a few unforced errors. Zheng stepped up the level of her play. We have a closer first set on our hands. Going wide. I don't know, let's take a look at the replay. I thought this was going wide. This is such a tough shot, that high backhand overhead. A smart play from Zheng. Good little reflex there into the open court.
Well, how quickly things can change. Serena was just cruising along, having no trouble whatsoever, and now you see a little consternation from Williams and some smiles from the other side from Zheng Jie.
That's the ball up the middle of the court that I was talking about. And it's almost tougher for Venus and Serena when it's a no-pace ball, which is so tough because it goes against every belief that you have as a tennis player to hit the ball hard, deep, and close to the lines, and they have trouble with those off-pace shots up the middle of the court.
Serena in big trouble now on her serve. Great move by Zheng Jie, moving in and taking that second serve very early.
Well, and that's something she started doing better in this set, taking that second serve early and not allowing it to get up above her head.
3 break points, and now Zheng Jie looking at a second serve from Serena Williams. Kater Nooney confirming that ball carried just a little bit long. Zheng Jie possibly thinking about a challenge. She has found a formula for success. Yet another break. Her husband, Chang Yu, likes that as well. Williams leading now 5-4. Back in Miami, if you're just joining us, Serena Williams was cruising, holding serve, making it look easy, making it look like she was going to absolutely dominate China's Zheng Jie, currently ranked at number 17. Went out to a 5-love lead, but a couple of holds and a couple of breaks, and now we're back on serve. Incredible turnaround in this opening set, and completely unexpected, at least on my part.
50-love.
And I expected Zheng Jie to get into some sort of rhythm. I mean, she's ranked 17 in the world for a reason, and we didn't see why.
And Serena's ranked number 1 for a reason.
Well, we didn't see why Zheng Jie was top 20 in those first 5 games. I mean, Serena was just completely dominant, but Zheng Jie wasn't playing to the level that she's capable of. It's interesting watching the footwork of these two women. As I mentioned, Serena with those small adjustments, that she doesn't do that as effectively as someone like Zheng Jie. And you watch Zheng Jie's footwork, she's taking those small little steps. You hear her feet squeaking on the hard court surface. Great playing. Again, Zheng Jie does such a good job of using pace. We mentioned she likes the pace. She has a short, compact backswing.
Zheng Jie on her way to an easy hold. It's interesting. Once Zheng Jie sort of engaged Serena and was working her way at least into some long points, and maybe not winning them, but Serena didn't go with her. And Serena showing some real frustration right now, letting this 5-0 lead slip away.
She cracked a racket. We just got a warning. And if I'm Zheng Jie, I like what I see.
Absolutely.
She knows she's getting under Serena's skin right now. Serena's never shy about hiding her emotions. Completely different to her sister in that way.
Game, bang.
And a love at hold, a hold at love. I'm so stunned I can't even say it. Look at Serena, seems visibly shaken.
Well, I mentioned she's very demonstrative when she's out there. She shows her emotions, both positive and negative. And right now, she's lost 5 games in a row, so she needs to stop the bleeding here. And she can do that because she has that big serve. So she can serve her way out of trouble, serve her way out of frustration even.
Oh, you see the linesman hesitate, started to put the hands down to signal good, change the call.
Zheng Jie's going to challenge this call, but I think it was wide.
I do too.
Our eyes haven't failed us quite yet, Paul.
Second serve, 30 love. Aggressive play once again from Zheng Jie, but not paying off. Serena responds after cracking some equipment. An easy hold and takes the 6-5 lead in the opening set.
Serena Williams, the #1 player in the world, showing in that last game her mental toughness, really using her frustration, channeling it in a positive way. We saw her crack the racket right before the 5-all game, and she came out and served beautifully, held at love, and I think that's what makes her such a great champion, that mental toughness.
So that heavily strapped ankle on Zheng Jie from a severe injury she suffered back in 2008, and that ball's getting off the baseline, and now Serena Williams looking to break through and finally close out this opening set. Again, if you're just joining us, Serena Williams led 5-0 and was completely in control. A lot of players, irrespective of the sport, cannot play angry. Seems that Serena does very well when she's got a little burning going on.
Well, that's something that she does well, and another thing that she does really well, another mark of a true champion, is she wins when she's not playing her best tennis. I think that's something that's so tough to do, because
14.
professional athletes and tennis players, we're perfectionists. We want to do everything perfectly when we're out there, and so many times if you're not mentally tough and things start going south, you lose it completely.
2 set points now for Williams.
Yes, that's such an effective play against someone that moves as well as Serena Williams. She moves so well from side to side. A lot of times if you can hit the ball into the space that your opponent just vacated, you're going to win the point.
Second set point. Zheng has shown an ability to stay in the point long enough to create that opportunity to go behind. Zheng Jie was there. Serena Williams finally closes out the opening set. Thought she had a nice design on a easily won first set, but Zheng Jie had different ideas. Serena takes it 7-5. Round of 16 here in Miami. The number 1 seed, Serena Williams, taking the opening set over Zheng Jie. 7 games to 5, and there you see her husband and coach, Chong Yu.
How's your Chinese, Paul? Give us a little translation.
Can't do that, but I must say that both of us have had the opportunity to travel all over the world and learn a little bit of lots of different languages. I think I can say hello, good night, thank you, excuse me.
That's about 4 things more than I can
where's
say.
the cold beer? But I spent a month, a wonderful month in Beijing covering the Olympic Games, and tried quite hard and found it very, very difficult day after day.
Williams to serve.
Serena to start serving, second set. And Zheng Jie's got to feel like she is right back in this, but the start of the second set going to be very important for both players.
I can't translate what Zheng Jie's coach said to her, but if I were coaching her and had the opportunity to discuss things with her, I would have probably tell her to do what she just did on that last return. Continue to take the ball early. And she wants to keep taking the ball early because that way she's taking that court position away from Serena. And that's where Serena likes to be, inside the baseline. If you can keep taking the ball early, pin her back deep behind the baseline.
Left serve.
Get a lot of first serves in. Great play. Great play.
All started with a very solid return.
Well, the return, that was one of my keys. The return is so critical for Zheng Jie. Start the point offensively, take that ball early, again, take that position away from Serena.
One break point saved.
These early stages of the second set are so critical for Zheng Jie. Serena's such a great front runner. Once she gets some momentum under her belt, it's very difficult to stop her.
Just ask Dinara Safina.
Steamrolled in the finals of the Australian Open.
And immediately the break of serve and give the opening game of the second set to Zheng Jie.
Zheng Jie taking a page out of Serena's book, going hard right at Serena and setting up the second passing shot.
Talked about the beginning of the second set and who would get the strong start. No doubt about it. For the #1 player in the world, yet another very strong beginning to the 2009 season.
Winning the first Grand Slam of the year in both singles and doubles. He's only lost 2 matches so far this year, and Serena is so dangerous when she's confident, and clearly she has plenty of confidence under her belt so far this year.
Look at the winning percentage, won 41 out of 45 sets.
Locked in.
I think another effective play for Zheng Jie, that play up the middle of the court. She's going to create a lot of opportunities for herself if she can continue to just pepper Serena up the middle of the court.
Hear all those little steps. I guess Serena wasn't listening. Step on that.
The problem is you gotta execute when you get yourself in good position. Serena anticipating that backhand down the line, getting there with plenty of time.
Williams looking for an opportunity to break right back.
But you know what struck me on the point before last when Zheng Jie hit that backhand down the line is that she struggles to create pace. That was a slow off-pace ball, and she couldn't create and generate the pace that she needed to hit a winner or hit an aggressive approach. Whereas when Serena hits that ball with a lot of pace, Zheng Jie can hit it back even harder.
Now break points for Serena Williams. That was a critical error early in the second set for Zheng Jie. That ball sails long. Serena Williams is able to break right back, tied at 1 game apiece. To begin this second set, Serena winning the opening set 7-5 after leading 5 games to love.
Serena definitely doesn't have to panic if she loses serve because she knows that she's going to have an opportunity to get a lot of looks at the return if Zheng Jie's serving.
Locked in.
Rare double for Williams.
And I think Serena right now is feeling a little more pressure on her second serve.
She's been broken 3 times overall.
It's a great serve. There's not a lot you can do.
That's how this match started.
Yep.
We were saying that one play after another. Serena, if she didn't serve a winner or near a winner and with her first serve, served the big kicker, and Zheng Jie had no response, at least early in the opening set.
Kick serve for Serena as a first serve would be such an effective play because her opponent, Zheng Jie, we saw her get her racket on that first serve return. The opponents are expecting a very hard first serve from Serena, so they back up a little and use the pace. If she can throw in that second serve, that high kick, she's really going to get that ball up on Zheng Jie.
Brilliant hitting by both Serena Williams and Zheng Jie of China.
30-all.
You can see that tenacity from Zheng Jie, making Serena hit as many balls as she possibly could to win that rally.
That was a big point as Serena was having trouble on her serve once again. 30-all. Shadows almost completely covering the stadium court here.
Again, she was way inside the baseline returning that serve.
30-40.
Look at that court positioning.
Serve out wide and a come on from Serena Williams. Seen a broken racket earlier in the match. She's really been fighting herself.
And that's a familiar sight, seeing Serena Williams serve her way out of trouble.
Just off the baseline. And another break point for Zheng Jie.
Advantage, Zheng.
And that's the tough part about playing Serena, is that she can serve all four corners. So tough to read where she's going to hit that serve. We saw her save one break point with the serve out wide. Second break point, she goes up the tee.
A brilliant return of serve, coming forward again.
Advantage,
Again,
Zheng.
that short, compact backswing. Doesn't do a lot with the backswing. Gets that racket out in front, uses the opponent's pace.
Left. Lost service. Yes.
See that backhand slice skidding away from Serena a little bit.
But Serena wasn't expecting that ball to come back. She stopped. She hit that forehand and observed. Didn't get back in position for the next shot.
Zheng Yu pounding that Wrigley's. His wife, Zheng Jie, a big chance here. Do you like, I know you don't like the execution, do you like the idea?
No. First, for two reasons. First of all, Serena's probably the toughest woman on the tour to drop shot because she's so quick off the mark. Second, Zheng Jie's not a feel kind of player. She's not an Amelie Mauresmo. And she uses her opponent's pace. She has a short backswing. She moves really well, but feel is not one of her strengths.
Advantage.
Serena throws in a very untimely double, her second double fault so far of this match. Round of 16 here in Miami. Serena missed it long. And so yet another break of serve. Fought off 4 break points, but finally Zheng Jie with yet another break and leads here in the second set 2-1. The clay court season is here, and the Sony Ericsson WTA Tour is sliding into Ponte Vedra Beach, Florida for the MPS Group Championships. Live coverage begins Saturday, April 11th at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, only on Tennis Channel, the home of the slams. Karina, you'll be down in Florida, will you not?
I will be there with Leif Shiras. We're going to miss you, Paul.
I'll bet.
Good little body serve from Zheng Jie to start that rally.
59.
Is Serena in trouble in this match?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. You let me know when she is.
Okay. That's why they pay me the big bucks. And I'm only going to say Serena's in trouble in this match if she gets down match point, because she is such a tough competitor. I've seen her come back, and she's still winning this match, so it's irrelevant right now, but I've seen her come back in so many instances where it looks like she's completely out of a match, and she has that competitive drive.
Cater Nooney with the overrule.
Clearly out on me. If you want to challenge, you can, but it's cleared out.
Saying clearly out. You hear his distinctive baritone. So that's another double fault for Zheng Jie, making it 15-30.
Great playing. That's the kind of controlled aggression that I was referring to in my keys. And Serena can keep herself in the rally, keep those unforced errors down, and wait for her shot. She's so quick. She moves so well. I don't know, sometimes I think she goes for too much a little too soon in the rally. Demonstrating much better patience in that last rally.
Exceptional deep hitting early in that point and then closed it out. Dumps that return into the net, but still with another break point. Telling herself, the body language there, just to calm down and be patient.
I think her eyes get so big sometimes when she sees that ball. She wants to hit it as hard as she can.
That ball just into the top of the tape for Zheng Jie, so yet another break of serve, and it's 2-all here in the second set.
Again, I really don't panic when Serena's down a break in this match because she always has a chance to break back. Zheng Jie is not a big server, so Serena's always having an opportunity to break right back and keep herself in the set.
New balls. 2-all here in the second set. Again, Serena Williams won the opening set 7-5 after being in complete control early, leading 5-love. A total of 9, make that 8 breaks of serve so far in this match.
Love.
Serena's going to have to step up her first service percentage a little bit. She won that point. She got a little more kick on that second serve, but still Zheng Jie looking to take the ball early on the second serve, take advantage of any opportunity she has. That's a great first serve. It's a good body serve. Another effective play, an underutilized play. Serena gets so much pace on her first serve. If she can serve that ball right into her opponent's body, she can really jam them and set up the next shot for herself. Much better serving.
Solid 1-2 from Serena Williams.
40-15.
You just get the sense that if Serena steps up her service games and steps up the level of her play 10%, she's going to run away with the rest of the set.
A rare hold here in the second set. Serena does that quite easily and leads 1-0, 3 games to 2 here in the second. From Miami, we welcome you back to Tennis Channel and our coverage of the Sony Ericsson Open. But Tennis Channel, of course, is the home of the slams, and our coverage begins with the French Open on May 24th and then move over to Wimbledon the 3rd week in June. And then it's to the U.S. Open on August 31st, where our Tennis Channel broadcast team will include none other than 5-time U.S. Open champion Jimmy Connors. And I've already booked my passage back to Australia.
Back to Melbourne.
Let's go. Let's go back to Melbourne. Serena Williams.
I feel like we just got back and we're already talking about Melbourne in 2010. Time flies.
Not a popular championship on that list. Serena Williams, a 5-time champion here in Key Biscayne as well as Down Under, and most recently this last year over Dinara Safina. Won the opening set over Zheng Jie of China 7-5 and leading here 3-2 up a break.
15 love.
Actually on serve. It just feels like she's up a break because we've had 4 breaks in this. So holding in this match is really like being up a break.
Nice cover, Karina.
Right number was good. Plus service.
Peter Nooney pretty active on the service line. But no complaints from the players. A lot of net cords.
That is a frustrating mistake from Serena. She had a good look at that return. She knows it.
That was right in Williams's wheelhouse and just dumped it into the top of the tape. That ball just sailing over the baseline, so complicating even further that weak forehand return.
It's so interesting because I totally feel like Serena has lost her concentration. It's like she held serve and has completely gone away in this game. 3 return errors so far from Serena Williams.
Off a serve from Zheng Jie that's just not a weapon at all. Beautifully done.
Too good.
Cross court. Beautifully
it's not
done.
a bad play from Zheng Jie to mix up the pace, make Serena
40.
generate her own pace and really force her with a different look at the ball. Serena doing a great job adapting to the topspin from Zheng Jie.
That ball off the top of the tape carries wide. The frustration continues. And back-to-back holds for both Zheng Jie and Serena Williams. 3 games all second set.
I only comment on the lapse in concentration from Serena Williams in that last game because when she was down in the score early in this set, she really honed in and focused on her return games, and then it's almost like she breathed a sigh of relief when she held serve, and then that last game just totally lost concentration.
Well, broke twice to open the second set. Problem was, she was broken twice to open the second set. So to your point, when she finally held, thought, okay, I can continue to break, and then I'll hold, and then we'll go have dinner.
And then we'll shake hands, and it's dinner at Nobu on South Beach. Don't expect that trend to continue, however. I expect her to really focus here at these critical stages of the second set.
Start, ladies and gentlemen. Miss Williams challenging the right baseline. The ball was called good.
An immediate challenge from Serena Williams.
Did you hear an out call?
No, the ball was called in.
Indeed, indeed. Thought there might have been a quick overrule. Ball is clearly long.
Portugal.
Serena's doing everyone's job right now. Calling the lines, calling the score, playing the match.
A little wishing and hoping and giving the pose, almost a little praying on that drop shot.
I was waiting for you to ask me if I liked this play from Serena. Like you asked me when Zheng Jie tried the drop shot, and my answer was going to be the same. Serena's not a feel player. She's a power player. But if you're going to try the drop shot, it's not a bad time to do it when you're up 40-love.
What a great return again.
And that compact backswing, and Zheng Jie really doing a good job of hitting that inside-out backhand return. That's the more difficult return to hit, and she's executing that beautifully.
And coming in so far that she's taking that second serve on the rise before it can get way up outside of her strike zone. Serena Williams led in this service game 40-love.
Advantage, Williams.
Little extra effort to close out that service game, but Williams does so and leads 4 games to 3. Comeback seems to be synonymous with Zheng Jie, currently ranked at number 17 in the world, but last year reached a career high rank of 23, a Wimbledon semifinalist, number 133, but that was because of the injury to the ankle at Roland Garros, and comeback player of the year, and we're seeing with good reason why, as she is putting everything and more in front of Serena Williams in this round of 16 match at the Sony Ericsson Open here in Miami. We welcome you back. Paul Sunderland along with Karina Murario. And if you're just joining us again, Serena Williams came out absolutely on fire, led 5 games to love, and then lost 5 games in a row. Eventually did close out that opening set 7-5, was broken twice, although she returned the favor to Zheng Jie in this second set. We were tied at 2-all, and now on serve, Williams leading 4-3.
Golovkin.
Couple of unforced errors from Zheng Jie, and now she is immediately down love 30.
These are the critical stages that separate the very high level players from the lower ranked players, and we're seeing that so far in this game.
Gets a break there. That ball looked clearly wide. Kater Nooney is trying to talk Serena out of a challenge.
Kater's thinking that ball was 3 feet wide. Don't waste a challenge. Serena completely pulling off that forehand. Again, that ball up the middle of the court. She doesn't get her feet in good enough position. She sets herself up a little bit too close to the ball and then is forced to pull off it.
Serena is really giving Zheng Jie some gifts here. Led love 30 and then missed that forehand well wide and then dumped that into the net. It's the season of giving.
Yeah, I was just going to say, a lot of presents being thrown back and forth between these two.
That's a lot of double faults for a woman that doesn't really use her serve as a weapon.
I think that's just a symptom of the kind of pressure that Zheng Jie feels from Serena.
Solid forehand up the line.
Serena shaking her head. I think she thought that first serve was long. Hesitated, covering after the return.
Had that lined up pretty well, the stab from Zheng Jie, but just carried a little bit long. Back to deuce.
Great wheels from Serena. Did a great job in that rally, getting to the ball and also getting the ball back deep, forcing Zheng behind the baseline. She had that one forehand where she was completely stretched out, got the ball back deep up the middle of the court, got herself back in good position. Finishes off the point with a fist pump in their opponent's face.
Break point now for Serena.
Wow. She did not do anything with that return. Surprising. I mean, had the shot she wanted, and that's how she actually got up 5-love in the first set, was by completely punishing those returns. And that one she just hit back right up the middle of the court.
See what Serena does with his second serve.
That's better.
A lot.
Advantage, Williams.
But I like that she corrected her mistake the very next point, did not make the same mistake again, really went after the second serve return.
Another break point. Brilliant serve from Zheng Jie.
You haven't seen many of those.
No, out wide, deep into the box.
That's a pretty good time to come up with one.
Some brilliant tennis from both players, but in particular, Zheng Jie struggling to hold serve.
Advantage, Zheng.
Well, Zheng Jie winning this point with the depth that I referred to at the beginning of this match in my keys. So important for her to get that ball deep.
Talked a lot about the fight and the competitive spirit from Serena Williams. And you mentioned before the match, and as part of your keys, the tenacity of Zheng Jie and showing that time and time again.
Zheng Jie's done a great job of neutralizing Serena Williams' pace. She's done that by holding her position on the baseline and using those short backswings to redirect the ball.
Serena probably thinking, if I can just get that break and go back and serve for the match. Instead, now at 4-all.
Well, I think that's exactly what she was thinking, and I think that's why she got a little tight. She had that break point, had a second serve in the middle of the box, and just hit it back in the court instead of being as aggressive as she normally likes to be. For that very reason, I think she just wants that break so badly because she knows if she gets it, most likely she's going to serve out the match. She can, be at Nobu in time for that 8 p.m. dinner reservation.
You just love Nobu. I mean, I love Nobu as well, but
I know, it's one of my favorites.
I guessed. And Serena quickly to 40 love.
40 love.
This is the round of 16 at the Sony Ericsson Open in Miami. Serena Williams, number 1 in the world, against number 17, Zheng Jie. That ball carries long.
40-15.
Serena Williams holds, and now China's Zheng Jie will have to return the favor if she wants to stay alive in this match here in Miami. A beautiful Florida spring sunset. A great time for tennis. Serena Williams, Zheng Jie, round of 16 again here at the 2009 Sony Ericsson Open. Paul Sunderland along with Karina Morariu here for Tennis Channel. And it has been a real struggle, although it didn't look like it early for Serena Williams. In complete control at the beginning of the opening set. Eventually took that 7-5. And now Zheng Jie from China serving to stay in the match. An odd point from Serena Williams.
15 love.
Ball just catching the cross-court sideline. Zheng Jie, an interesting story, coming back, making it to the semifinals against Serena Williams at last year's Wimbledon, and then following that performance, donated all of her prize money to the victims of the huge earthquake in the Sichuan province of China, which killed over 60,000.
And I believe that's the province that she's from.
30-15.
My producer just told me I was correct, which never happens. Mark the date.
You're correct,
and the
that he
time.
tells you.
Thank you, Brad Toberman.
I'm still waiting. That ball wide.
40-15.
40-15. Serena has really been struggling. The lights on for a while. Sunset having just passed. Serena coming in nicely after that strong forehand return. Serena just seems to have a pained expression on her face for quite some time during this match. Maybe with good reason.
Intense focus.
That ball sails just over the baseline. And with a hold, Zheng Jie does stay alive, now 5-all here in the second set.
I think that pained expression that you were referring to, Paul, is just a sign of Serena's frustration right now. She's had opportunities to get ahead in the set, hasn't been able to capitalize, and she's frustrated that she hasn't been able to put this match away.
15 love.
The winner of this match will take on the winner of Ekaterina Makarova and Li Na, which will be coming up a little bit later on Tennis Channel. There have been so many upsets here in Miami already during the course of this tournament on the ladies' side. The Sony Ericsson Open, a combination, really an elite event for both the men and the women. Speaking of some of those upsets, Ekaterina Makarova took out Nadia Petrova. Petrova was seeded number 9. Samantha Stosur took out Dinara Safina in straight. Safina was number 2. Ivanovic lost at number 7. Yankovic lost the number 3 seed. Dementieva has lost. Vera Zvonareva lost to Li Na. Does that tell you anything about this particular tournament? Have so many surprises.
I always think that this particular tournament's difficult because of the conditions. It gets very windy. The wind is an equalizer. I think at the moment a lot of the top players are struggling with their confidence. Ivanovic, Yankovic. I mean, it's not entirely surprising that they're going down early in these tournaments. The depth of women's tennis has increased dramatically over the last 10, 15 years. So the top players are having to face tougher opponents in the early stages of these big tournaments.
Big point. And Richard knows it. So does Serena.
I don't necessarily know that she meant to hit it that way, but perfectly placed return from Zheng Jie.
30-40.
Now Serena, just like that, facing a break point. Zheng Jie stays aggressive in a return and see if she comes forward. She will if she gets a look at a second serve. And that ball sails wide, and just moments ago, Karina, Zheng Jie was serving to stay in the match. When we come back, she will be serving to even this match at 1 set apiece. A bevy of upsets already here in Miami. We mentioned that Dinara Safina, Jelena Yankovic, Jelena Dementieva, Vera Zvonareva, and Ana Ivanovic. Look at the seeds, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 7, all out of the tournament. To your point about the depth on the Sony Ericsson WTA Tour and also the level of play. Very, very dangerous players earlier on in the draw. Caroline Wozniacki, certainly one of those. Samantha Stosur having a very nice run here in Miami, the veteran from Australia.
She took out Amelie Mauresmo today.
And then I think you make a very interesting point. Ana Ivanovic, you know, if you follow it closely, you realize that she has really stumbled of late, and you wonder where her confidence has gone after the marvelous summer that she had last year.
And we just saw the graphic when Zheng Jie beat Ana Ivanovic last year at Wimbledon, and that was really the start of Ana Ivanovic's decline. She has just not been the same player since she won the French Open last year.
Beating Dinara Safina, and where is Safina now after taking that tremendous beatdown at the hands of Serena Williams at the Australian Open?
15 love.
Zheng Jie remarkably serving to even this match at 1 set apiece. Sloppy points by Serena. 2 points away.
Serena just completely gifting this game to Zheng Jie. 3 set points.
What an incredibly unlikely turnaround. Serena Williams, the #1 player in the world, about an hour ago was in complete control. Now we'll play a third. Well, it certainly didn't seem like it was possible when this match began about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Serena Williams was in complete control, held on to win the opening set 7-5, and then Zheng Jie of China, ranked number 17 in the world, has completely turned things around. Now we stand at a set apiece. Serena #1.
I was unimpressed with that last game from Serena Williams, not showing the kind of competitive spirit that we're used to seeing. And that was an instance where the frustration clearly got the better of her.
Basically gave that game away, which clinched the set for Zheng Jie.
Poor start to this set.
Serena Williams in deep trouble to open this third set. Zheng Jie has done a great job of working her way into this match, and being tenacious, as you pointed out, really improving her service game and finding some rhythm and putting pressure on Serena Williams.
15-14.
Even more important than her service games have been her return games. She's really done a better job of taking that second serve early, being aggressive.
Oh, what an excellent return to set up that break opportunity, and Zheng Jie takes full advantage as we revisit Karina's keys.
Zheng Jie, that return, the depth, and most importantly, the tenacity that she's shown in this match, and she's used that to her advantage and hung in there every step of the way. For Serena, her serve. She's hitting way too many second serves right now. Controlled aggression, and that's something that's going to be key for her in this third set. The head-to-head, she has the lead in the head-to-head. She's never lost to Zheng Jie, so she has to have that in the back of her mind. But the controlled aggression, that's something that she's not using right now.
I asked you at 2-all in the second set because Serena had just been broken twice in a row if she was in trouble. I'll ask you again.
She's in more trouble now.
Not a lot of
Definitely
trouble.
in more trouble
but more
now.
Trouble. Okay.
I'm not going to say she's in trouble definitively yet.
You see the cumulative numbers through the first couple of sets. Serena, 12 winners, 15 unforced errors. Pretty clean from both players.
Better first service percentage from Zheng Jie, 73%. And that's where she wants to be because she doesn't want to let Serena get a lot of looks at the second serve.
But for Serena, not bad. Wasn't she at 60% first serve numbers? So all the more reason or example why Zheng is doing such a great job returning.
Yeah, you're right.
Which Serena right now is not. Another return dumped into the net. Yet another.
I mean, right now she looks like she's tanking. Not just mentally completely absent the last 3 games.
No.
This is all still up to Serena, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. She's the #1 player in the world. I mean, the match is in her hands. To win or to lose.
That was exactly my point. What happens here is up to her, both good and bad.
Yep. But we have to give Zheng Jie a lot of credit. I mean, she has hung in there. She's fought extremely hard. She's done the opposite of what Serena's done the last 3 games. I mean, Zheng Jie, no matter what the score, no matter what her performance, she's hung in there. Even when she was down 5-love in that first set, she came back, fought hard. She wasn't playing her best tennis the first 5 games of the match. Is Serena hurt? I mean, she didn't even move for that ball. I don't know if her knee's bothering her. She just doesn't seem to be moving like she usually does. I don't see her not try for balls.
Well, the trainer has not been called out. There's been no report from courtside that anything is physically wrong with the #1 player in the world. He threw in a double fault and now is in dire straits.
No, this is not the Serena that we're used to seeing, so I'm just questioning if there's something else going on that we're not aware of.
15-30.
Now, if you're Zheng Jie, you have to realize how much trouble Williams is in and just not give away free points like that.
That's a tough task psychologically right now for Zheng Jie.
Break points stunningly again for Zheng Jie. One break point saved. Huge first serve from Serena Williams. Back to deuce, and Serena was maybe 1 point away from losing this match.
consistency on that last point from Serena. And again, Zheng Jie making her hit a lot of balls. That return, getting that first serve return back in play.
And Serena does get off the mat and manage to hold. And I said that I thought the match might be over with one more point from Zheng Jie. Serena has been carrying herself so negatively. If she was broken again there, I thought it was over. Catch some of tennis's all-time greats, including Pete Sampras and Patrick Rafter, competing in Los Cabos, Mexico at the Del Mar Development Champions Cup. Coverage from this Outback Champion Series tournament premieres Monday, April 6th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 Pacific, only on Tennis Channel. Paul Sunderland back with Karina Morariu. And as strange as it sounds, Zheng Jie was a point or two away of taking complete control of this third and decisive set against the world's number one, Serena Williams.
Zheng Jie had 15-40, 2 break points in that last game on Serena's serve. Serena came up with a couple huge first serves to claw her way back into this third set.
That second serve had absolutely nothing on it at all, 70 miles per hour.
I think at this point Serena's got to hope that Zheng Jie's starting to think about winning this match. Get a little tight, start slowing down that second serve, so Serena's going to have some opportunities to take advantage of that.
Forced error over the baseline for Zheng Jie, and now she is in trouble on her serve, trailing 15-30. Also can't be thinking about the opportunity that is no longer there. Had a couple of break points, as you mentioned in the previous game. Serena saved those.
Not only that, but Serena looks like a different player. I mean, for 3 games, it was like she wasn't even on the court. And then she saved those 2 break points, held serve, and now she's starting to move her feet better, starting to get that fight back in her.
Look at all the break points so far. Early in the third set, Serena was just dreadful. The final game of the second set, which was won by Zheng Jie 7-5.
Smart play. Great defense from Zheng Jie. Little improvisation from Zheng Jie there, but she knew she had Serena on top of the net, plenty of room for that topspin lob.
Serena's going to look to jump all over the second serve. Strong return. Zheng Jie misses the backhand, and we're tied at 2 games all here in the third set.
2 games all.
And the winner of this round of 16 match takes on Ekaterina Makarova and Lina, also of China, and we'll have that match a little later on this evening for you right here on Tennis Channel, home of the slams.
I'm not exactly sure what to say right now. I'm confused. I have no idea what to expect right now.
I'm not sure either of the players do. It has been such a bizarre first match of the evening here in Miami.
That was the last match of the day, but now we're into the evening.
That ball just over the sideline. She thinking about challenging, and she will challenge. Here, Kader Nooney, the chair umpire, confirmed the call, at least from his point of view, and it was right in front of him. Not close.
30-15. Ms. Zheng has 2 challenges remaining.
Continue.
15.
Williams.
And Serena Williams, who's been out on the court against Zheng Jie for nearly 2 hours, showing a glimmer of getting back in control of this match. Another beautiful evening for tennis here. Springtime in southern Florida. The Sony Ericsson Open coming your way on Tennis Channel. You wrote something down during our last side change. There have been many words used to describe this match. Some good, some not so good, somewhere in between. But you wrote down bizarre. And I think that pretty well captures what's gone on so far here late this afternoon and early this evening.
And I thought I had a pretty good hold on what was going on in the match until 6-5 in the second set, and since then it's just been completely bizarre. I don't know what to say. It's just been, I think Serena completely went away for 3 games and kind of served her way out of trouble when she was down 15-40, down love 2. And then I think Zheng Jie started to feel the pressure and started to see the finish line, and so she got almost paralyzed by fear of winning. But I really don't know what to expect. But to me, it just looks like Serena, that's why I was wondering if she was injured, because she's just not moving her feet. I mean, that last forehand was a perfect example. I mean, did not move her feet at all for that shot.
There's very little explanation and lots of speculation about what might possibly be going on. I think she's just absolutely disgusted with the way she's been playing. And this in a match that we've been out on court for, the players, I should say, have been out on court for 2 hours. Through about 12 minutes, Serena led 5-love and looked like she was absolutely going to steamroll. That's what we saw a lot of in the opening first 5 games.
But since then, we've seen some of that and a lot of those same returns landing 8 feet wide.
We've seen Serena not going for balls, which is very uncharacteristic. Oh, that's great work. Great playing by Zheng Jie, and we're tied at 3 games all.
Zheng Jie again doing a great job of hitting behind Serena. Mentioned how well Serena moves side to side. If you can hit behind her effectively, you're going to put yourself in good position. I've mentioned throughout this match how Serena manages to win matches when she's not playing her best tennis. So we'll see what happens in the latter stages of this third set.
4th meeting all time between Zheng Jie and Serena Williams.
I feel like so many times Serena wins matches like this through sheer determination and intimidation. A lot of the players start to get tight when they see the finish line against the #1 player in the world.
And looking back at their results through time, Serena leads the all-time series 3 matches to none, but that was the first set that Zheng Jie has ever taken off of Serena Williams.
And that second serve had a little more pace on it, had some kick on it, but a little more speed as well. Zheng Jie completely missed timing it, caught that return late.
Both love.
Serena with an easy hold takes the 4 games to 3 lead. Feels a lot like the second set. Serena maybe just 1 game away from wrapping it up. Well, Serena Williams, one of her favorite and most successful places to play is near her home in southern Florida. 11th appearance overall at the Sony Ericsson Open. Not a bad singles record, and looking to win this title for the 6th time, currently tied with Steffi Graf for the most wins all time. Not a bad record in Miami. Beautiful spring sky, very similar time of day. Thinking back to yesterday, go back up to Central Florida, similar light when Tiger Woods, I'd say pull off a miracle, but I would just say nothing miraculous. Just did it
not
again.
If he does it.
Just did it again.
Exactly.
Winning the Arnold Palmer Invitational 2 years in a row with a birdie putt on 18. And coming back from 5 strokes down to Sean O'Hare.
I think we can compare Serena to Tiger in a lot of ways. The mental toughness and the determination and also the intimidation. I think a lot of players in golf, when they get ahead and they get up on Tiger, they start to get tight. And I think that happens a lot against Serena as well, because you know deep down that they're so mentally tough. Not only are they good, but they're mentally tough. So it's going to take every ounce of your talent and your mental ability to pull off wins against the best in the world.
We focus so much on Serena and what she has done and not done, and as you pointed out, the bizarre nature of this match. But have we given Zheng Jie enough credit for what she's done in this match?
I think so. I think we've been complimentary.
She has played beautifully, but when a player that is ranked 17th is putting so much pressure on #1 in the world, you always focus on #1.
We've talked about her tenacity and what she's done to keep herself in this match. She's fought extremely hard. She's played pretty well tactically, I think, taking advantage of the second serve, moving forward, trying to take the ball early. using Serena's pace to redirect the shots.
Huge point now for Zheng Jie. 15-30.
Fundamentally, a match as close as this comes down to who plays the bigger points better.
Serena now with a pair of break points.
That's the return that Serena wanted at 4-3 in the second set.
In that situation, Zheng Jie was able to fight off those 2 break points, but not so here in the third. And now Serena will serve for the match.
And I think it's inevitable in a match like this that you do focus on the number 1 player, because we all know that if Serena Williams is playing her best tennis, there's no one out there except for maybe her sister that's going to beat her right now.
Ready? Thank you.
And probably not on this surface.
And not in Miami, where she's won 5 titles.
It's love.
Serena, much like Tiger Woods we talked about earlier, has this innate confidence. She really draws on that in matches like this.
Well, Tiger talks a lot about grinding when he doesn't have his best game.
Yep,
well, I think that applies.
Yep.
Serena 2 points away. Triple match point for Serena Williams.
40 love. What is?
And there it is. Finished the way it started. Dominant serving from Serena Williams. And in between, a lot of very interesting tennis on both sides of the court.
Serena Williams showing why she's the #1 player in the world. Again, not playing her best tennis, pulling out a tough 3-set match against a very feisty opponent.
For Serena Williams, her 50th win all time in Miami. And this one she will remember for more reasons than just the number. In 3 sets, the #1 player in the world had to really struggle and get off the mat after dropping the second set. Serena Williams wins it 7-5, 5-7, 6-3. And a look at the final numbers here on a glorious early evening in southern Florida.
Way too many unforced errors from Serena Williams. 39 unforced errors, and that caused a lot of problems for her today. But in the end, again, so close in the statistics, and a lot of times the statistics don't tell the story of the match. Bizarre is the appropriate word.
And give a lot of credit to China's Zheng Jie.